Welcome back to NYSE TV Live. Ahead of National Cancer Survivors Day on Sunday, I spoke with Steve Bensinger, Chair Emeritus and Chair-elect at Ronald McDonald House, New York, and Michael Brill, Chair of the Board of Associates at RMHNY, about its relationship with Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Here's what they had to share.
MSK, as I call it, is our largest hospital partner, most significant hospital partner. Just a majority of the kids that are staying with us are being treated there. And so it was also, I think, the first hospital. So we're celebrating our 45th year in New York as Ronald McDonald House, New York. That's a long time ago. One of our honorees this year is Dr. Richard O'Reilly, who was actually one of our original board members. He was head of pediatric oncology for decades at Memorial Sloan Kettering. And in fact, just to add a little personal note, when I was diagnosed a little over 2 years ago, the first two people that I called were Dr. O'Reilly and Dr. Andrew Kung, who succeeded Dr. O'Reilly as the head of pediatrics at Memorial Sloan Kettering. And I said to them, if you were me, how would you handle this? And they put me in touch with their best at Memorial Sloan Kettering, and the treatment was thankfully really successful.
It's wonderful to hear that. Steve, anything more about the partnership between the two that would bring to light the work that Ronald McDonald House New York is doing?
Yeah, the partnership, has always been amazing and it continues to be. So our board members, and we have two, Dr. Kung and Dr. O'Reilly is still a member of our board, and both are very active. What's fascinating is the insights that they can provide us about the advancements in pediatric medicine in treating cancer. The kids that are part of our world range from literally infants, some just born days or weeks ago, to young adults. Ever since the Affordable Care Act, we can have kids, young adults up to 26 years old that are being treated still as under pediatric protocols. So it's just that continuous stream of knowledge that they provide to us is really useful to actually ensure that our services and everything that we need to provide to these kids and their families is keeping up with the most current trends.
Mm-hmm. Michael, your company, Goldman Sachs, where you spend your day job, how is it supporting the mission here of Ronald McDonald House, New York?
Goldman has been supporting the house since the 1990s. So before I've been working there for over a decade. I'm just proud to be, at an employer that supports the house to the extent that it has thus far.
Yeah, and what about for your firm, Steve?
So I'm a member of, I'm a senior advisor at Howden Re, and Howden Re has been a very generous supporter as well for the house over the years. In fact, one story I think is interesting. It's not just money, but it's also volunteering. And I know the same goes with Goldman. We have phenomenal people on our team, as you do, Michael. And we had the first barbecue on our beautiful outdoor terrace post-COVID, post-pandemic, a couple of years ago. And everyone was just waiting. And the entire event was sponsored by and volunteered by my fellow Howden Re colleagues. It was just amazing. It was a glorious day, and all the kids and their families were out there. It was just wonderful. You could see how important the emerging out of that darkness was to the kids and their families.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. And of course, I'm sure the corporate support does go a long way. So to that end, how would you recommend that companies who might be interested in partnering and supporting Ronald McDonald House New York get involved? Michael, we'll start with you.
So listen, there's many different ways to do so. One is volunteering with the house. And I think one of the most powerful things about the house is once you see it, you're actually that much more drawn to it. It's great to hear about it, but once you walk into those doors and you see the families and you see the operation itself, and also I can say the people that work at the house are incredible. And I think that is something that a lot of people don't realize. The people that work at that home are dedicating their lives to making better for those families and children. And when you walk in there and meet them, it's honestly just incredible. So I think volunteer is a key aspect. Then from the financial aspect, if you want to touch on that, Steve.
Yeah. So we're a big operation. Michael mentioned we're at the intersection of hospitality and healthcare. You know, we operate a very large presence in New York City. Our main facility has 95 rooms, including 6 immunosuppressant suites for the most vulnerable children who really have to be isolated from everyone else. I think they're the only ones of its kind in New York City, at least the last I heard that was the case. And we've also now built 4 family rooms inside of 3 public New York City hospitals and 1 Montefiore in the South Bronx. All of them are in the most underserved communities of New York City, and they're there to provide the services that we offer on site in the hospitals, particularly for the parents who are really going through a very, just a really tough time, with their kids going through what they're going through. So we're expanding our mission, and funding is it's a big machine to feed.
Our thanks again to Steve Bensinger, Chair Emeritus and Chair-elect at Ronald McDonald House, New York, and Michael Brill, Chair of the Board of Associates at RMHNY, for that interview. To learn more about the Ronald McDonald House New York Annual Gala and the work that this organization is doing, take a look at that QR code on your screen. Now, leading into the annual gala in September, we'll be highlighting more stories about the work that RMH is doing to improve the lives of children and their families.